poppin', you guys? It's your girl Shanaenae, and you're watching Whippin' with Shanaenae. Shalomies life, boo boo. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe down below for more videos. I upload a video every single week. You guys, I may or may not consider uploading twice a week because I did get a few comments of people that are wanting more content. So, I mean, anyways, today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to make a pie. That is, you know what I'm saying? I know it kind of looks weird right now, but when you eat it, listen, your mouth don't judge. Your mouth don't judge. So keep watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the food. Alright, so let's get straight into the flour. I zeroed my scale, that way my scale isn't reading the weight of the bowl. And I got straight into pouring the flour. I doubled my ingredients, so I did 500 grams of flour for this set. And then I poured that all up in my bowl, know what I'm saying? And then I used a teaspoon measure just to make sure that I measure a teaspoon of salt. But I actually ended up using 1.5 teaspoons of salt, even though the instruction thing said 2 teaspoons, but that means it's gonna be salty. After I was done editing my salt, I started going in with the butter with 120 grams of butter, and I added that straight into the flour and got to rubbing it all in with the flour until it was all put together and crummy. Then I started adding in my water. It said add teaspoon at a time. Since I was tired, I didn't go and add in the bowl, you know what I'm saying? But you don't want your flour to be way too soft. You want it to be like pizza dough, where it's not sticking to your fingers, almost like Play-Doh. For all those that play with Play-Doh, that's how you want your flour to be. And you just keep kneading the dough, keep adding some more dough in there. Don't add a lot of water because it's really hard to like get it back to where it's supposed to be. From there, I get into chopping my carrots and my potatoes, and I add that into a pot and let it boil up until it's really nice and soft. And while that's boiling, I get into seasoning my chicken. I let that mess just boil and whatnot until it's cooked, because ain't nobody wants salmonella, you know what I'm saying? Add some water. Don't drown it now. And then I got into straining out my potatoes or whatnot, and then I grabbed a cup and started mashing them down all the way. This is optional. You can skip this if you like and just, leave the potatoes and carrots as is, but I like to mash mine down. That way it kind of just stays together. It's not falling apart as I eat the pie, you know what I mean? Because anybody got time for that? Like, oh, shit, oh, fell. After I did all that, I put some oil in the pan, and then I got my onions, my green peppers, and I got to frying that all up because I do want to add some more flavor to the pie. So I just stir that all up. I got the whipping and I stirred it and stirred it all up, you know what I'm saying? And then I added some spices for some more flavor. I added I think it's called not Rafiko, that's coffee. Anyways, and SAMOSA spice all up in there just to make sure that it's all good, and I whip it all up. We in the kitchen and we whipping. Seasoning that chicken. Hey, finger licking. Anyways, then I get straight into adding the potatoes just to bring some more flavor into the potatoes. Cause sis, ain't nobody like bland food. You know what I'm saying? You want that mess to be nicely seasoned. You feel me? Like, period. That's just that on that. So I added it all in and I mixed it all in just to make sure that it was really nice and really good, and just put all those concoctions in, put in that arm work, you feel me? So I decided to add some beef into this pot too, so I got into chopping that up and shredding it down or whatnot. And I did the same thing to my chicken just to make sure. I mean, you could do big chunky pieces in your pot. I just decided to shred it all down, and then when I was done with that, I added it all into the pot, into the mixture, and I mixed that all up. Now getting into the dough. Alright, so I got my mat. I just decided to put some oil up in there so it's nice and slickety slick, you know what I feel me? I got my dough. I needed it some more. I pressed it down a little bit just to, help me out with trying to get the shape or whatnot. Then I got my rolling pin and I got to rolling it out. And we're making the bottom part of the pot, so it doesn't really matter if you make it proper size or whatnot, because I didn't. I'm finna show you that I really didn't make it the size it's supposed to be. Then you get your baking tray and you just lay that dough all up in there. Obviously, it wasn't like how it was supposed to be. It's supposed to cover the entire bottom part of the tray, but it didn't. So I ended up going back in with some extra pieces and just kind of covering those gaps where, you can see tinfoil, because it ain't supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be covered everywhere. So that's what I did. And then after doing that, I just put some mixture of garlic and oil on the bottom to bring some more flavor, you know what I'm saying? Just juice, yes please. After I was done with that, I got into filling the entire bottom part of that tray with the filling, and make sure you put it all in there, you know what I'm saying? Try to make it as even as possible. Those who have OCD, I'm sure you pulled out a ruler. We saw you. Then from there, I rolled out the top layer of the dough same way I rolled out the bottom, except I try to make the top bigger because like you don't have as much breathing space to, you know, just be doing the most with the top layer like you did the bottom. So I tried my best to, you know, just make it good as possible, and I just cut off those extra pieces that were just kind of lying there. But it's kind of good if you have extra pieces because that kind of gives you some room to, like, you know, just fill in places and try to mash it down. The mistake that I made was that I forgot to add water to both layers, that way it sticks together, but yeah, that L's. Then from there, I added the same garlic and oil mixture on top. After I added the garlic and oil mixture though, I did add egg yolk to it as well. That way it kind of brings out this really nice golden shine to the pastry. So yes, and then I set my oven to 180 degrees, and then I add that mug in the oven. You gotta let it cook, gotta let it set all the good. When it was done, I took it out the oven. I tried to pull it out. That's why we put the tin foil, so you can easily pull it out, but like it wasn't working. I told my brother to put down the camera to help me out. Everything looked good, it looked put together. I was looking at the crust on the side. My mama maybe put it back in the oven though to make it cook a little longer, that way the bottom's cooked well. But overall it came out really, really good. Everyone liked it. My mama is a really harsh critic, so the fact that she was like, this pie is so good, I was like, yes, I did that. So yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week.